They were once at the bottom, losing games, trading stars, and facing non-stop criticism. Fans had lost hope, and the future looked dark. But step by step, something started to change. Smart moves, bold risks, and a plan that actually worked. This is the story of a rebuild done perfectly. In 2012, the Oklahoma City Thunder were supposed to own the league. KD, Russ, and Harden, all under 24, made the finals and looked ready to dominate the next decade. But what followed? An absolute disaster. Harden got traded over a few $1 million. Durant left for the very team that beat them. And eventually, even Westbrook was gone.
I feel like if Russ left, the team would just die.
From a future dynasty to total collapse just like that. By 2019, the Thunder were done. The stars were gone, the hope was gone, and the team had officially entered rebuild mode. And everyone thought it would take forever. Small market team, no big name free agents, and now no superstars. It was supposed to be over. But then came Sam Presti. Not just any GM, the coldest, most calculated mastermind in the league. And he wasn't here to panic. He wasn't here for shortcuts. He had a vision. A long, brutal, patient rebuild that would crush everyone's expectations. It all truly started on July 25th, 2019, the day Presti wrote the letter. A direct message to the fans. No shortcuts. No chasing fake hope. Just real, disciplined rebuilding. But what nobody realized at the time? He'd already set the trap. Just days before, Paul George had been sent to the Clippers for an absurd return. 5 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps, Danilo Gallinari, and a second-year guard most fans had never even heard of, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That trade alone flipped the Thunder's future. They weren't rebuilding with scraps. They were rebuilding with gold. Then came the Westbrook trade. Houston sent over Chris Paul, a 34-year-old veteran with a massive contract everyone thought was untradeable. But instead of dumping him, the Thunder competed. CP3 wasn't washed. He led the team to the 5th seed in the West. It made no sense, and that's exactly why it worked. While other teams were scrambling, OKC was quietly stacking value. CP3 taught SGA how to lead. His trade value bounced back. Presti flipped him again for more picks. And in the process, OKC added key role players like Ty Jerome while flipping other pieces for even more future assets. But Presti didn't stop there. He unloaded Dennis Schroeder, Steven Adams, Al Horford, all while taking on contracts other teams didn't want just to squeeze more picks out of the deal. Every move was calculated. Every trade added flexibility, assets, or development time for their young core. SGA wasn't just a piece anymore. He was the piece. His scoring jumped. His leadership grew. But most of all, he stayed. That's rare in a league where young stars usually want out. He bought into the plan. But rebuilding isn't just about stars. It's about culture. Presti signed undrafted Bulldog Lou Dort, a guy with zero hype but unmatched grit. And alongside him, the Thunder added overlooked grinders like Kenrich Williams. Still, this was only the beginning. Because while they were building culture on the court, off the court, they were stockpiling picks like a war chest. While other teams were fighting for the 8th seed, the Thunder were playing the long game. Sam Presti was busy collecting first-round picks like they were Pokemon cards. By the end of 2020, OKC owned the future, literally. They had control of their own picks, the Clippers picks, the Rockets picks, and pick swaps that gave them power in multiple drafts. No other team had this kind of control. None. But this wasn't just about stacking draft assets. The Thunder had a clear type. Long wingspan, tough defenders, smart players who could adapt. Presti wasn't chasing highlight machines. He was building a machine that could grind opponents down night after night. In the 2021 draft, they picked Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey from Melbourne, Australia.
A 6-foot 8-inch guard with elite passing vision. A lot of people laughed. They said he was too slow. They said he couldn't shoot. What they didn't realize? Giddey fit perfectly. He was a tall playmaker who could take pressure off Shai and see the court like a veteran. He wasn't flashy, he was effective. They also drafted Trey Mann and Aaron Wiggins that year. More guys who weren't stars on paper, but had the tools to be great in a system that valued hustle and smarts over hype. And again, more development time, more minutes, more patience. He wasn't building for the next year, he was building for 5 years from now. Then came Jalen Williams,
Jalen Williams from Santa Clara University.
A physical 6 feet 6 inches defender with serious energy. Not a big name, but exactly the kind of guy who fits OKC's blueprint. They weren't hunting stars, they were building a team, one that didn't rely on one player carrying the load. But disaster struck before Chet could even play. He got hurt in a Pro-Am game, his entire rookie year gone. Most teams would panic. The Thunder didn't blink. They gave him time. They leaned harder into development, and something incredible happened. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander exploded. SGA took that extra space and turned into a monster. He averaged over 30 points per game, made the All-NBA first team, and finished 5th in MVP voting. All without a proper big man, without a loaded roster, and without flashy help. Just pure skill and work. And while SGA was leveling up, rookies like Jalen Williams were stepping up fast. J-Dub, as fans started calling him, was everywhere. Defending, scoring, passing. He wasn't just a role player, he was becoming the second star. Quietly, efficiently, exactly how Presti planned. Now the Thunder had their guard, their second option, their future center, and more picks coming. But they still weren't ready to win, not yet. That's when Presti made his next big move, one that took everyone by surprise. That surprise move? Presti traded away Josh Giddey. Fans were shocked. Giddey was young, talented, and already a core part of the team. But Presti saw something others didn't. The need to tighten the defense and add experience without breaking the bank. So he made a bold swap. Giddey for Alex Caruso. Straight up. And it worked. Caruso brought defense, toughness, and championship experience. He wasn't there to score, he was there to lock up the other team's best player and bring structure to the second unit. OKC now had something they lacked, a defensive leader who knew how to win. Then came free agency. For years, OKC barely touched it, but now Presti opened the wallet. He signed Isaiah Hartenstein, a bruising center with size, rebounding, and rim protection. Finally, the Thunder had a true big man to plug the hole that haunted them in last year's playoffs. And even with these changes, they still weren't done. In the 2024 draft, OKC picked Serbian guard Nikola Topic, knowing he wouldn't play right away due to an ACL injury. Another long-term move, another slow play, another bet on future upside. When the 2025 season started, the Thunder were ready. They stormed out of the gate. 7 straight wins. Only 7 losses halfway through the season. And they weren't just beating teams, they were crushing them. Their defense smothered opponents. Their offense was balanced, fast, and deadly. Every player had a role. Every possession had purpose. Chet returned and gave them something they'd never had before. Elite rim protection and spacing at the same time. He blocked shots, ran the floor, and knocked down threes. He fit like a glove. Jalen Williams? He made the leap. Over 21 points per game. Elite defense. Clutch scoring. He was no longer the second guy. He was 1B to SGA's 1A. And SGA, he was unreal. 32 points per game. Nearly a 50-40-90 shooting split. Defense, playmaking, control, everything you want in an MVP. He wasn't chasing highlights. He was winning games, doing the dirty work, leading like a true star. By the end of the season, the Thunder finished with 68 wins. 5th best record ever, best defense in the league, best margin of victory, the most double-digit wins in a season. This wasn't just a good team, it was a machine. In the playoffs, they destroyed the Grizzlies, outlasted the Nuggets, outworked the Timberwolves, and finally battled the Pacers in the finals. It was a war, a back-and-forth series filled with huge moments, injuries, and comebacks. But in the end, OKC finished the job. They became champions, with the second youngest roster to ever do it. SGA won Finals MVP. Presti's rebuild was complete. And the rest of the league? They're in trouble, because OKC isn't done. They're just getting started, and they still have more picks than anyone else.